This happened in 1972, when I was 5 years old. I went to a neighbor kid's birthday party. My family and I lived in a very quiet suburb of Chicago. The neighbor's parents threw a huge party. They brought a lot of stuff for their son, even a small mechanical donkey toy that moved back and forth. All the kids were taking turns riding it and playing on it, but I wasn't allowed to. I was chubby, so they wouldn't let me play like the others. There was also a clown at the party. He introduced himself as Bojo. He danced and laughed loudly, did simple magic tricks, like pulling a coin from behind a kid's ear, and made animal shapes out of balloons. He rode a unicycle and rolled around. All the kids at the party were happy and laughing. I, however, hated clowns. I never felt comfortable around them. So I came up with an idea. I wanted this birthday to be a bad memory for that clown. A little while later, the birthday boy arrived, and we all went inside to watch the clown's show. Everybody sat down on the floor. I stayed standing. The clown did the usual tricks, pulling a rabbit out of his hat and a lot of other stuff. I was bored and annoyed, so I yelled out loud, "You're so annoying! Finish up and go!" I kept saying that every time he did a trick. The clown didn't answer. He just smiled and kept performing. But I could tell something was wrong. His eyes looked terrifying, like he was getting angry while staring right at me. That went on for about 20 minutes. The other kids were shouting and cheering about the tricks, but I was getting really upset. Eventually, the birthday boy's parents came in and took the donkey outside to hit it open like a piñata, stuffing it full of candy. I stayed behind and finished my fruit drink. What made me go back inside was that I needed to use the bathroom. The house was very quiet, so I walked from the living room toward the kitchen on my way to the bathroom. Before I reached the bathroom, the clown came out of a room laughing loudly and said, "Hey, how are you?" His voice scared me and I screamed, but he quickly said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you." Then he pulled a can of Pepsi from his pocket, opened it, and started pouring it onto my pants while muttering strange, frightening things, words that didn't make sense. He kept saying weird stuff about rain and an old man smashing his head into the wall and dying right there. The crazy clown kept rambling until the can was empty. Finally, he took his foot off my chest. I took that chance. I kicked his leg with all my strength, got up, and ran as fast as I could into a room and slammed the door shut behind me. That room was a small storage room for pantry supplies. It looked messy and you wouldn't normally sit there, but it was the only place I could get to from where I'd fallen. I was terrified and kept hiding behind the door, hoping he wouldn't come in. The door wasn't locked, so I stood behind it and put my hand over my mouth so my voice wouldn't give me away. The few minutes I spent in that room felt like hours. When he didn't come, I pressed my ear to the door to see if he was outside. Suddenly, he started banging on the door hard, shouting, "Come on, let me in, you little pig. I'll show you what I do to kids who don't listen." He said he was going to take me to his house and teach me manners and make me call him Daddy. I started to cry and slammed my body against the door with everything I had, but he was stronger and kept forcing the door open until he could get half his body through. I felt my life flash in front of me. I was crying and absolutely terrified, but he was laughing. Then, out of nowhere, I heard another child's voice. The clown stopped and left the door to go deal with that child instead. He opened the door, walked away, and I immediately locked the door. After a few seconds, I heard his footsteps leaving the house. I ran straight to my dad in the yard and told him everything. I stayed in my room for 3 days after that, not leaving at all. On the 4th day, my mother told me that a child from that party was missing. He was 6 years old. The last time anyone saw him, he was playing with the clown. The scary part was, no one recognized the clown or knew his name. The party company said they didn't know who the clown was. Later, they found the clown, dead nearby, his costume stolen. and no one knew anything about the missing child.
Years after that,
I saw the same clown on the news. He turned out to be a serial killer who kidnapped children from birthday parties. After everything I saw that day, I told my family every single detail about what happened to me at that cursed party. They were shocked by what I said, because I could have been the missing child.